Hello, this is Nereida La Sirena with Celestial Soul Wellness, and we have been talking about this new moon in Gemini. Gemini really rules the throat chakra. It rules the kind of electricity. As I was saying, Ragnar wanted to be part of the video. So, as I was saying, is Gemini is very much about the throat chakra. It talks about also anything dealing with expression. So, our voice, esophagus, um, also our arms, okay, our hands and our fingers, because they're a form of expressing. Even so that's how come, sign language, it's a form of expressing. And keeping that in mind, Gemini has, it also rules the common cold, okay, because it deals also with the lungs. And so if we have an affliction with that, if perhaps you have another luminary in Sagittarius or Pisces, um, Virgo, that's creating an affliction with something in Gemini, that can happen. Sometimes people too get the colds when the moon is opposite, okay? Which would be here in this case Sagittarius. So there's a lot of Sagittarius that are getting, a little weak, feeling weak because Saturn is in their sign, and they need to pump up on vitamins and minerals, nutrients, eat more. Uh, Make sure they're taking in more calcium citrate. Okay, but before, remember I'm not a medical doctor. Time out. Let's do the legalities first. Okay, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a alkaline health coach, alkaline nutritionist, and health coach. So please review this with your doctor, the white coats, which are very good at identifying diseases and surgery, but not necessarily on getting you healthy and maintaining your health. Remember that there's a difference, okay, of our Western doctors. But anyway, so the lungs can be afflicted, all right, with Gemini, and also our nervous system, also meaning the thyroid. Okay, so those the people who have afflictions in their mutable signs. Remember, it doesn't mean just your sun in Gemini. You can have your moon, your north node, your soul purpose, Mercury, in one of the Venus, Mars, okay, even Saturn, all right, will create a weakness. And now, this is not necessarily something to say, oh, I give in. No, okay, no, this is the perspective what needs to be taken. So, as a integrative life coach, heads up, and spiritual minister, now, what does one do with this information? One says, oh, okay, I am forewarned. So, knowing that, now I'm going to take certain steps to make that a strong point and not be so weak at those times. Okay, and that's very important because some people just like, oh, and don't want to take responsibility for their bodies. They just want to be told what to do. Okay, but this is your body. This is your number one responsibility, because without this, you cannot receive love, you cannot give love, you cannot be of use or help to anybody else. You cannot, like, oh, I need to be needed, I want to make people happy. You can't without this. Okay, so take care of this. And true, I know when some people try so hard to do something for me, oh, their health really means something to me, because I'm looking at them going, whoa, whoa, whoa. If you're not in good health, then the details of your actions are not going to be so thorough. And also, too, is not neither are the effort, and also how can I say, is if we're not completely in good health, the energy that is being given out. So my concern is anybody who assists me or helps me work, I'm always saying, hey, eat this and that, and I make sure I give them the teas, okay, and that there's the bowl of fruit and the herbs, and non-GMO, and as organic and raw as possible because that's being selfishly unselfish. It's like they say in Spanish, blancomania, because you want to make sure and maintain that they are doing well, because then they can perform like they would like to, and their performance is going to be even better, so they can give back too. Not necessarily because you want to give back, but whatever performance that they're going to do, they're not going to be like, oh gosh, I'll just bear it. When we are just bearing something, we're not really putting our best effort into it. We're not putting good vibes. Have you ever had a meal and the exact same ingredients and it's done the exact same way, but it tasted better one time over another? Because of the energy, the vibes that are being put into that meal. When it's done for love and just joy, we can taste it, we can feel it. That energy is permeates through the food and into our body and into our soul and our hearts. And we're like, wow, this was delicious. Okay. That's why certain places, after a while, lose their taste for us because, maybe a new restaurant will start, and when it's a mom and pop's place, it's like, this is really good. They get too famous, and then you got chains. I mean, I used to love certain places, and then it's like, oh my God, I have no idea what they did, but because it's not done with love anymore. It's done like, okay, let's just do this out. I'm having a job here, and I'm just grilling it, taking it out, give it, you know, and that attitude is felt within the food, okay? So it's very important. Another thing too is looking at my notes. Ooh, okay, here is fevers, disorders of the brain, insanity. I know what I wanted to say. Yes, with Saturn, let me just back up. With Saturn and Sagittarius, you got the hip, okay, and movements, and a lot of problems sometimes with sciatica, joints, and being able to rotate and flexibility. Sometimes it's because one rotates too quickly, okay, and they're not completely aligned. So if you're standing and you're taking something, but you got one foot this way already ready to go, you are not really balanced, and that can create a reaction. We have to make sure that we're always grounded and completely receiving or doing something, because if we're already this way, we can pull something because we're doing something and we are halfway already thinking of the future of the next step, and that is not healthy. Another thing I wanted to say is I mentioned taking calcium citrate. Remember though, some people are taking calcium, but they don't realize our body, the number one mineral that we do need is magnesium. Okay, before it can really well absorb other nutrients and vitamins, we need to be taking magnesium. So make sure you're taking magnesium, okay, first, then the calcium. And women, always remember, if you're taking iron, and you know ferrous gluconate's best, women can absorb that better without any constipation, okay, and bloating, whereas ferrous sulfate can create that irritation within our gut and our digestive system. So make sure you're taking the magnesium. Now, going back with the joints and all that, the potassium chloride is very necessary too. Taking MSM is also really good. Okay, if you're wondering the quantity, yes, that is important. That's when you can contact me. Remember, this is all wonderful free information that I'm giving you guys. You're more than welcome to text me, email me, Skype me, so that way you guys can have an appointment with me. Okay, taking this on to consideration. So fevers, disorders of the brain, continuing with Gemini. Things, insanity, I know. Okay, and if you're wondering, potassium chloride really helps clean out the spleen and pancreas to work better. So people with pancreatic cancer really know it's probably you are lacking potassium chloride. If you're lacking potassium, then it's also to maybe check how much magnesium you're taking, because remember, can't absorb one without the other. It is just let me share this with you. Pineapple green tea, room temperature. It was too warm for hot tea today. Delicious. So going on, okay, anything with the lungs, pulmonary situations. I don't like to say diseases. Let's not own it. it can happen, but we can counteract it, okay? So if you're a smoker, really want to make sure you're cleansing out those lungs and see what is that addiction feeding. And just so you know, for smoking, it's usually because it's stopping you, it's making you slow down, all right? For some reason, perhaps if you are manic or high energetic and you feel that your energies are not in tune with everybody else, you got slow moving people or more lethargic moving people, um, or people who are maybe more grounded than you are, you know, then some people choose to smoke to slow themselves down, okay, or they don't trust their own power, their own energy. And so that smoking is a psychological, emotional situation in which it slows them down. Okay. Also, too, is situations bronchitis, asthma, pneumonia, sinus allergies, panic attacks. Oh my goodness, Geminis are known for the panic attacks, okay? And really need to ground yourself. Remember, anytime you're having a panic attack, that means you are allowing fear to dominate. Remember, all this is all about our perspectives. The more we put things into place and realizing that we are safe, okay, we are protected and we are loved, there's no reason to allow the panic attacks to move forward. And when we start feeling that, when one starts feeling those things, think about, what am I thinking? Why am I allowing this to take place? What fear is dominating right now? And why am I feeling that fear? Why do I feel helpless? Why do I feel that I cannot take control of the situation? And once you realize it's really not that bad, okay? People always forgive us. People get over it. People still love us. Everybody makes adjustments. Sure, I'm not going to say the word mistakes because maybe it's a mistake in one person's eyes and it was just something different that they weren't used to. And that needs to be taken into consideration. But once we dominate that, there is no need to have those situations, okay? Let's see here. Let me check some things here. Okay, so certain things to be aware of during this time, all right, I'm just scanning real quickly, I'm not going to go so deep, but our circulation, making sure our veins are working in order, make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Let's see here. Taking in a lot of oxygen, breathing deeply is very necessary. All right, we talked about asthma already. Let's see here. Any accidents to the arms, the collarbone, any fractures, so really stretch. Now, am I saying this for everybody? No, these are people who have afflictions, and afflictions is when they got a planet or a luminary, a personal a luminary that's going to be um, an immutable sign or opposite. Now, information is just a heads up, really, for those people who are learning astrology, want to know about health and how to get themselves better. But also, too, is those people who are learning astrology, remember, maybe you're like, well, I don't have anything in my natal chart. Did you check your progress chart? Did you check your solar return? So all those things need to be considered also, okay? If not, you come see me. Affections in the blood, is typical during this time too, all right? Let's see here. What did especially if you have Jupiter and Gemini, all right? Let's see. We talked about broken bones, bronchitis. We already did. Moving on, moving on, moving on. I'm just scanning. Okay. Um, and remember, this is not to get all upset and, coughs, and scared. This is to be aware. All right. More or less, I see that's, you know, my notes. That's probably about it. Okay. Can have with Mars going back into Sagittarius just once it goes direct after the end of June. Um, Also, stretching is very important because Mars will be opposite Gemini can have situations with the femur. You know, we said the thigh, the legs, the hips. Okay, not necessarily your calves, all right? Um, let's see here. Da 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 da. You know, have some background music for gout. Ah, gout. Big one there. Big one there. Gout, most definitely. We already talked about the hands. Let's see. Talked about hips, all right. Hip diseases too. Make sure you're not getting hernias. You know, stretching is very important. Remember, a hernia too is when you're going in opposite directions, okay, is created and you're overstraining that area, okay. And that is usually because you're not breathing in deeply. We're not breathing in so deeply. Let's go on here. I know I said that was it, but I just like to be thorough. You know, we talked about lungs, congestion, phlegm, good shot of apple cider vinegar a day, selenium, vitamin C, but before everything, magnesium, okay? Let's see here. Nervous system, pathogenic effects, you already know that. Um, mm, Controlling your brain, controlling your thoughts. Okay, if at any time you feel bored, ask yourself, well, why am I bored? Is this information did not pertain to me at all? Maybe I need to busy myself. If you're bored, that means you're allowing some time to, instead of just saying, oh, I think it's time for me to do something else. And no, and not, don't worry about other people entertaining you. We have to take control on entertaining ourselves during this time. There's a lot of fast movements, so stretching is very important. Okay, very, very important. Let me see here. Ah, inflamed pericardium. Oh, that one that's a good one too. All right, let's see here. Pleurisy, all right. A lot of that is with Gemini. Talked about pneumonia already. Um, Pulmonary diseases. Let's continue on. It doesn't seem that many things. You guys are going, what? Sciatica, we talked about. Hmm. You can have a pinched nerve in those areas too. So maybe you're straining and using that area. I know I'm looking down and I'm just scanning my notes. All right. I know it'd be better if I had them there. We already talked about thighs, femurs. Okay, that seems. Ba, 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 ba. Mm, okay, remember thyroid already, inflammation of fingers and toes. Okay, everything, even warts. Oh, warts. Okay, it's ruled by Gemini. So if you have Jupiter expanding anything, being in Virgo right now, you know, and you know, so which also deals with the hands and stuff like that. Do know that if it in opposite sign or creating, that can also, maybe you don't have anything in um, Gemini, but having Jupiter in Virgo right now, and you have something in Pisces or in Sagittarius, that can exasperate and bring something to overindulge. Okay, so especially since we do have a Venus right there conjunct our new moon. So please watch the rest of this about the herbs and yoga and things that you can do to just balance everything out. But always, always make sure you're drinking water. Okay, we want at least 8 of these. Okay, and so. And when I say water, make sure not purified. Okay, we're talking about glacier, spring water. Tap water that's been alkalized and filtered. Alkaline water is very good. Distilled water is only good if you're going to do a fasting because it actually is nothing in there. Okay, and the purified depletes actually makes you more dehydrated. Most people who have knee and joint problems is because they're drinking way too much purified water, which is depleting the body. So just don't do it. Just, that soda and all that. It's just, you know, you need 5 cups of whatever that the size that you drink of the soda and water and coffee just to replenish back, not to even give you optimal sense of oxygen in your body, just to put you back before you drink that cup of Coke, okay, and purified water and coffee, just so you know. So, well, thank you for watching, and again, I'm available for the services is 6-month forecast. Just so if you want to view and you're not sure what's going on, maybe with yourself and you're confused, this is really good. I like it for teenagers. There's certain things too because of our Saturn return in our 20s. Okay, and then things are changing too, in our 30s. Every 5 to 10 years, it's good to see update because as we mature and as we grow with our experiences, our chart changes too. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. Okay, a lot of times too, when you're watching the horoscope or listening or reading, it is very wise to not just your sun sign, but also your moon sign, also your north node sign. Okay, very important. And some astrologers even say your Jupiter. I know I read all 4 or I look at all 4 for a good idea. I'm also available for solar return. That's every year. What is the major themes and focuses on that year and how to take advantage of that? Okay. Um, Also for 6-month forecast regarding the eclipses. Okay. Let's see here. Career, soul purpose. And I also do love, lust, and romance. How do you love? What do you lust? Do you know yourself? Are you giving mixed messages? Okay, do you know? Or are you pretty steady? Okay, so those things a lot of us think we are doing, and we're not taking the time to really get to know ourselves. And then we get frustrated that someone else can't follow our guide. And we're not even guiding them, maybe. Okay, so if you're having a relationship with your child, getting to know them, it's a good thing to do also tension harmony to see how you get along, especially I like it when they're going through every 5 years too, because you grow as a person, they grow as a person. How are you two adjusting to better accommodate one another? Okay, that's very important. Our relationships too, the harmony and tension. And a lot of times, like, well, it was perfect when we got together, but you guys were in different stages. Are you in those same stages now? No, you're not. Okay, things are adjusting, and I know I had certain clothes that worked back then, and it doesn't work now. Okay, and certain foods I ate back then I don't eat now. So if we don't know what's going on within ourselves, how are we going to notify and bring to realization our partner, let alone have see if that partner can adjust to and understand and accept the situation? So that's very important. But remember, there's no need to fear of losing anybody in our lives if number one thing we love ourselves, and we have the biggest love affair is with ourselves. Ah, okay, so remember, look at yourself and tell yourself in the mirror every day, I love you. Okay, and I am proud of you and how great you are just for being you. Okay, this is Nereida La Sirena with Celestial Soul Wellness. Please watch the rest of the program. Enjoy. Jessica, namaste. Hello, this is Nereida La Sirena with Celestial Soul Wellness, and we're going to do the tarot card portion, or oracle right now, portion of the new moon in Gemini program. So this new moon is happening on June 4th of 2016. And if you watch the astrology, you have an idea of what's going on. And I talked about the health also, meditation, and watch for the herbs and yoga. And so let's see what our intention is seeing how the oracle cards are going to support us during this time. Okay, and how we can use the best ways of this energy So, here we go. We got right here. And this is the past, the porcupine. Okay? This is the present. And when we do oracle cards, it doesn't need to be a matter if it's flipped or not. And that is the present. So, and this is the past. This is the obstacle that we as a society are finding ourselves in. This is our environment, and this is the suggestion and advice the universe and source is giving us, and this is the outcome. So right now, this is wonderful. So call in our light team, really, and we see this is beautiful for the Gemini movement, and that is good. Sometimes, you know, these animals are just beautiful. Look at these cards. Just so you guys are wondering, these are the Power Animal Oracle cards. Okay, and so this is really good. So let's see the past. The past is free yourself of guilt and shame, the innocence. And that's very important because a lot of times we are, I mean, goodness, a lot of Christian branches are accuse us just from being born, saying we're born of original sin, and that's just not right. I mean, they make us feel guilty just for being alive, and that's not good. So, you know, freeing ourselves of that guilt and shame, if for no anything else, we have to learn there is guidance. It's when we do something purposely, knowing it's going to harm someone or ourselves, then that there is a need to question ourselves, you know, that guilt and shame. But just for being, that should not, there is no guilt or shame within that whatsoever. Okay, and here's the present, to look beyond. Very important, because when we look beyond, okay, immediate appearances, perhaps we have created a certain stereotype because of certain experiences we have had, all right, with certain situations or people, and then we take one aspect of it and we apply it to everybody else if it's a little bit similar, without really thinking that there's other possibilities. Okay, here we have the obstacle, the lizard, dream time. Very good. This is a wonderful time for meditations, wonderful time, you know, to really pay attention to the dreams, because our dreams are our subconscious speaking. Okay, it's gathering a multiple of information and it's letting all go. All right, and to really see what it is. Okay, and allowing that to permeate within our world, our waking world, and the visions and things that pop up to our head is very important. But a lot of times they say, oh, you're just going crazy, okay, or oh, those are just voices. They're telling us something. The key is to put everything into perspective and allow ourselves a certain grounding within all that. This is our environment, is trust. And that is very important, you know, with the new moon in Gemini, is that flying, that mobility, and at the same time is trusting ourselves in that, okay? A lot of people are too careful when kids are walking. They're just, you know, at first we're standing all around them, or worried they're going to fall and hit themselves, and then we make a big deal if they fall and go, oh no, and then they cry so easily, when that's just part of life. And in knowing that, remember, if life, that we can really fall down and still be okay. That is what's important, and that's in trusting our higher self, knowing that we are okay, we are one with Source, that we can be free, okay? We are using that freedom, and we are looking beyond and seeing what it is we want to encounter as a society and really change, because right now we have entered the age of Aquarius, and it is no longer the age of Piscean, of martyrship, okay? And a lot of people do that even in their own families, you know. They don't take care of themselves. They'll say, because it's on behalf of their family, oh, I got to give the food to my kids. I got to do this for my kids, yet they're barely making it themselves. And not until they're sick and diseased is anybody paying attention to them. when it shouldn't work that way. Because also, too, is you're teaching the children to do that as they become older. Who's going to want to become older if they have to sacrifice themselves like that? Shoot, we'd all commit suicide at 18. You know, I mean, right, cameraman? You know, I mean, does adulthood sound good if you have to do that all the time? Not at all. And it's not like that, cameraman. Just so you know, I got a wonderful, handsome cameraman here. Okay. And then we have the advice, the fox. Look at that beautiful tail, the adaptability, okay? And that is very important because in the adaptability of everything is putting in our dreams, not getting lost in the dreams and visions, but getting into using them and balancing it out, trusting ourselves. And that, using those dreams to our reality, we can change things. And also be willing to be flexible when things are changing in our environment. Because if we are so rigid and saying, no, it always has to be this way, you know, I mean, that's where we get rebellions from, okay? Because there are certain things that cannot stay a certain way because we evolve, okay, as a species, the humans. And so that is constantly, I mean, look how fast technology has made us evolve, all right? And sometimes it's too quickly, though. Certain reactions, you know, we're having certain reactions that are affecting us. And yet other things are not happening fast enough. Okay? And then we have the future. Look at that. Let go of control. Look at these words, okay, everybody? We got free, look beyond, dreams, higher self, trust, adapt, let go. Oh my gosh, this is all about live life to the best and funnest and healthiest and supportive for other people, okay? And yourselves, knowing that when you fulfill your passion, you just can let everything follow through, all right? And the best control you can have is of yourself. That is the only control we can ever have, is of ourselves. That allows adaptability and changes to happen, okay? When we adapt, we no longer need to control others, okay? I know a lot of control freaks, and it's because they themselves have no control, discipline of themselves, their emotions, or their fears. They let their fears run over them. And when they're just so easygoing, knowing that everything's going to work out, they let other people just live their life too, okay? And then at the end, we have the coyote. Or coyote, I was thinking. The wise fool. Accept your follies and find the teaching in them. We all have what is considered follies and weaknesses, and, you know, they all have a certain lesson in them. But maybe they're not even follies. Maybe it's according to someone else. Are we feeling guilt and shame? You know, are we feeling guilt and shame because of what our parents say, instead of just accepting our follies? Maybe they just don't understand it, okay? I mean, after all, we came from them, right? We are coming from our environment. Are we allowing those guilt and shames to happen because of, you know, the environment we were brought in? Maybe if we were brought in somewhere else, it'd be okay. In some cultures, to burp after a meal means it was a delicious meal. If you don't burp, it's an insult. Other cultures, you burp, it's like, how dare you? Okay, so remember, too, what is going on? Okay? Accept your follies and find the teaching in them. Are they really follies, or according to who and according to why? You know, these are a beautiful set of cards. These are so fun. Just makes you want to go run free, okay, in the forest and just jump in a lake and just like, yay, and let go, doesn't it? Climb a tree. This is all wonderful, you know, wonderful. Yeah, we got feline, we got canine here, you know, we got the reptilian, okay, we got the water also, the very defensive, and just being free yet total control. Look at that eagle. Okay, these are beautiful. Well, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the tarot portion. Yeah. Hello, we're back. This is Nereida La Sirena, and we're going to do the esoteric portions. I already shuffled and separated. And so now we're going to do right here. Okay. And we got what's going on. And I chose the Major Arcanas this time. I was just feeling that. This is what we don't want to do. This is what we want to do. And this is what the outcome is going to be. Okay, wow, these are beautiful cards for this new moon in Gemini. We got the Magician. That is such a Gemini thing. Magician hands, you know. And what's really cool about the Magician, you got everything there. Okay, you got the wand, you got the sword, you got pentacles, cups, it's got flame, wisdom, infinity. You know, the Magician is also, people would say it's magic, really, when what they're doing is knowing how to encapsulate all the energy. And look, he's pointing to the flowers, receiving energy and giving energy and realizing all the time. Okay, it is going around and round and round. We cannot stop energy. It just goes to a different direction or a different place, okay? And so that is very important to remember. So what we don't want to do is just giving our energies just to one other person right now, okay? This is something we need to remember, that are you trying to get love because you're trying to feed into yourself, all right? For any guilt that is going on or for what you're lacking, okay? Or are you trying to actually enjoy this unconditional love? And that's very important, because when we just keep it right between you two, okay? And not sharing that energy. Remember, we're a chemical reaction, like a drink. Okay, when we put two beverages together, we create a whole new drink. And this is a whole new energy when we create. And we need to share it and show it with the world. Okay, and that's very important. Okay, so now we have what we need to do. So we need to move away from just focusing on ourselves in the physical plane. On a spiritual plane, we need to move away from the traditional, understanding that things need to adjust. We are in the age of Aquarius, we're getting this again, and certain ideas, certain traditions, culture, customs, belief systems, okay, need to be broken, or not necessarily broken, but adjusted for the coming age and for the new evolvement of humanity, of everything that's going on, that accepts this new spirituality needs to accept, be more accepting and loving and supportive of us as a humankind, one with the other, and not fighting and combating with one another. Remember, Pisces, you have the fish going in opposite directions. Here, Aquarius, we are going with the water. The energies are all going in the same current, in the same flow. And that is very wonderful and very supportive. Okay, because if we are good with ourselves, we are good with others, and good with others, we are good to ourselves, all supporting each other through our soul path, our soul journeys, and giving more positive energy out there, and being just loving, unconditional love, not this my love over your love, but this is an unconditional love, knowing that we might not necessarily get it back from that person, but we're going to be getting it back another way, and that is very nice, you know. A little story I'm going to say as an example. I had a friend of mine, my printer broke down, and so they were printing out everything for me, and I know they wanted a plumeria, and so, or had mentioned once they had pointed it out, the one I had. Well, as I was walking, I decided to take advantage of the day and walk to go pick them up. I saw on the ground, I didn't rip it up, there was a branch of plumeria, and I'm like, what? And I looked up, and someone, unfortunately, for one reason or another, had pulled it down, or it had fallen. But here I didn't have the guilt now that I was ripping out someone else's plumeria branch. It was there on the ground. And I was like, oh. And I didn't think about my friend yet. And I was saying, oh, God, universe, thank you, Mother Gaia. Thank you, you know, Madame Pele. Thank you, You know, Shiva, thank you for this beautiful gift. And then, because it was so, too hot, I stayed in the shade. My friend came and they came and picked me up along the way. And when I saw, I go, you know what? This is God's gift to you. And sometimes instead of a payment, that is what is being more appreciated instead. So in a way, it was paid for, you know, along the way for her kindness. And I realized then that plumeria wasn't for me, but it was to give to her. So that is a way of showing and being supportive and every effort and kindness that people have. You know, when they give to us, always give back in some kind of effort and love, and because you want to, because you're so grateful. And that is very important. This is a spiritual time of being grateful and appreciative. Understand, of course, there might be certain lows and valleys of our life and negativity, but always be positive and grateful for the good things and the wonderful things that we enjoy all the time. I'm always grateful for my teas, my fruits, and my loved ones and family members that help me out here at Celestial Soul Wellness. Well, now this is the outcome. Ta-da! Here we go. So we got Venus, the Empress, flowers, Mother Nature, Mother Gaia, love, this universal love of just giving. Oh my goodness, we're really going. Do you see this? So we're going from the patriotic world, okay, and spirituality to now, I'm not going to say to a total feminine energy, because we also have the 3. So what we're doing now is we are encompassing all the energies, okay? And that's what we should do. What the Empress does is encompasses and realizes that the energies need to be balanced and both appreciate the masculine essence, appreciate the feminine essence. One essence is not better than the other, but appreciate that they all have a purpose, and one can serve better than another in a certain area, and then the other. And together, they then can serve all. And so realizing that love, that universal love, the love for ourselves, the love for nature, and just giving and appreciating and putting it all together is really what goes on. Okay, this also kind of reminds me of how you have the chiefs, okay, and American indigenous cultures, American Indian culture, and then you have the councils. Usually in the olden times were the women, all right? And so when I say the council, because it's of 3 or more, you know, they would counsel the chief, okay? The chief, because of his strength, physical strength, was, hey, to make sure that the words of the council, the women, were being heard, were being respected and followed, okay? That was the main reason. And that he took that to protect the council of the women, all right? And that's what he was doing. He was going to enforce it. And because of that knowledge, they like to use the word crone. I like to use the wise woman, the WW, you know, the wise sagesse, the sagesse. That crone just is so negative. And plus, sagesse has a better numerical vibration. And just really put all this love out there and support and harmony and supporting one another's agenda without fear, you know, and no guilt or shame, but just really, really enjoying this. These are beautiful cards. Wow. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And again, this is Nereida La Sirena with Celestial Soul Wellness. And please stay tuned and watch the other parts of this program. Hi, this is Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness, and we're talking about healing naturally the throat chakra. Okay, soy Sirena Nereida con Celestial Soul Wellness y hoy estamos practicando cómo curar naturalmente la chakra de la garganta. This is your Vishuddha chakra, okay? And you're going to see some of the foods and herbs, repetitious and incense and stuff like that. But some stuff are just that awesome. So here we have a grapefruit, okay, la toronja, okay. And any
freshly squeezed fruits. Again, lemons, limones, limas, limes, kiwis, okay? Very good. Mandarins, naranjas, tangerines, manzanas, peras, ciruelas, okay? Abricocos, gingebre, también plátanos. I know I don't have that all with me. It's such a shame. Okay, I was also mentioning in Spanish, apples, pears, plums, peaches, apricots, and ginseng, okay, wheatgrass and bananas, kelp, echinacea, really good, and if you take echinacea, just when you know that you've been around someone who's had a cough, then that'll help you avoid it. But it doesn't really help cure it once you're midway through. You have to do it before. What is better is selenium, okay? Also, too, you guys know about sage. Sage almost come up on everything there already, okay? And sage, what we call it in Spanish, is salvia. All right? And then, very good, eucalyptus, eucalipto, tea tree, árbol de té, mandarin essential oils, any of the mints there, okay? Loose decaffeinated tea or natural herbal teas. I know in French we call them tisane. We don't call them teas, okay? Teas are going to be caffeinated. These are natural. And then once again, the good incense, well, even if it's essential oils, frankincense and patchouli. Okay, el incenso y patchouli. Very good. And here I have some nice loose sage here. Okay, don't mind the cilantro, the coriander in the background. Some nice loose sage. Okay, also good for the throat chakra. Oh, look, we got some yellowing leaves there, and it's still good to take at that time. Peppermint, all right, very good. Okay, just so you know, also the gardenia, thyme, etimo, really good. All your different spearmints and mints, okay? All your different spearmints and look at, there's Bellatrix. She's hiding, she's being camera shy. And of course the sage. And look at, I know, I gotta prune some of this. All right, if I don't, then it's not. It gets too much water sometimes and then not enough in other times. Okay, so. And here is sage to do clearings in the house, salvia para hacer limpiezas de energía, alrededor de la gente y también de las casas, las entradas de las casas, las ventanas. Look at all this sage, all this salvia, drying it up, really nice. And then also we have lavender, lavando, okay, so that's really good also. It's very calming effect. Mix it with vetiver anytime. So that was all for the throat chakra, for the para la chakra de garganta. Natural healing with Sirena Nereida, with Celestial Soul Wellness. Chaucito. Please watch more of my programs. Subscribe and share. Always thankful. Have a blissful, wonderful, gorgeous day. Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness, and thank you for watching this video. This short yoga video is on the throat chakra, on the Vishada chakra, and so there's certain poses I'm going to show you. So we're going to start off with the Garudasana, which is the eagle pose. Okay, with the eagle pose, this is going to require a wonderful balancing with the eagle pose. All right, so you're going to start off with fierce pose or chair pose, slightly bent knees. You're going to cross over, okay, or actually I like to start off with my arms. We're going to cross over one arm over the next, okay, and make sure that they can reach. Okay, and then we're going to do eagle. We're going to go and down. And it's good to cross the feet, okay? And you're going to hold it for 5. So let's balance over here. Okay. You guys notice from my videos I have this balancing thing, huh? Okay, some of you say, you're not grounded. Yeah, I'm semi-flat-footed on one foot and flat on the other. So I don't have that wonderful arc. So it requires me a little bit more, but it's okay. So, and then we're going to cross over. Okay, make sure you're breathing. And when you are doing that, make sure your head is up. And when you are breathing outward, that's when you get a good push for extend. Now remember, anytime we do one side, we have to do the other side. So, we're going to cross over, okay, and the other way. Oh, hold on. I know, it takes me a little bit. All right, and let me see if I can get the foot first. Hold on. Okay. Sometimes I'm better one side than the other. There we go. No, I can't. I'm not grounded on this side. Okay, here we go. So 5, 4. Now when you do that too, remember you can balance if you need to do just one side. And you hold on, that's good, okay? And likewise for those. If you need a bar or to hold on to something, by all means be safe and know your limits and boundaries. This is not a competition. I know when I do eagle pose and certain poses, just to get myself, I need like a little bar just to hold it, and then I let go and breathe. Once I'm there, I'm good, okay? So, I know that was ridiculous, but at least you get the idea. So the next pose that we're going to do, remember this is all to help you, that way you get an idea instead of me just rattling off a bunch of poses. This way you know. Okay, the next one we have is Bhujangasana. And Bhujangasana is cobra, also known as upward facing dog. And so we're going to get into our extended. So we're here. And we're going to extend, okay? And we're going to push up, but instead of a full extended push up, we're going to push up to our knees and round it out. So we're going to go, ah. And while we're here, we're going to open up like a cobra. Ah. Ah. Really stretch that. And you can stretch it up higher. And down. And curve the shoulders forward. And back. And when you're going backward and down. Full stretch. Bring it in. Okay. Open up and stretch that tongue. Because remember, the whole goal is the throat chakra. We need to open up and extend. When our throat chakra is open, we express ourselves better, we communicate, we don't repress. Many cultures, you could tell when they have, we have whole cultures that have problems with their thyroid and their throat chakra. You see in Middle Eastern areas, the women, they have their throat, it's enlarged compared to the rest of the body. And then the lines, they have lines along their throat, and it looks almost as if there's rubber bands. Well, it's very unfortunate, and it's part of their cells and mitochondria and their DNA, and that their throat chakra has been stifled and suppressed through generations and generations. And that is one way to know that your throat chakra is not working, especially if you have thyroid problems. You need to get that cleared up. Also, if you have your parathyroid going on too. Okay, so another one pose we're going to do is the Sirsasana. The Sirsasana, okay, is going to be the headstand or shoulder stand there. So we're going to sit down, okay, and we're going to lie, and we're going to, let me move up this way a little. Director, can you see me down here? Good. So we're going to bring our knees into our chest, all right? All right. Oh, that feels good. A nice rounding out. And then lift it up higher. All right. So, and then we lift. Make sure your tush is kept in tight. You don't want it all sitting out and being all wobbly, okay, because you lose balance. I know, I have better balance this way, upside down, than I do standing. It's interesting. Okay, make sure it's like lasers pointing out of your toes there. All right. And you can also, for an extended stretch, and this is also good for your sacral chakra, is bending it over this way. Keep the feet, the knees straight, the toes touching. Just breathe into it. Oh, it feels so good. And bring it back up. And back down, slowly, knees to chest, and roll down and roll up. Once again, you don't have to do it that quickly. I'm just doing this quickly for you, so that way you can practice on your own, at your own time and speed. Remember, yoga is not a competition. This is for your optimal well-being and health, bliss, and happiness. And the last pose, okay? Last pose is child pose. So that's going to be balasana and child pose. We're just going to go on our knees. It's child. They call it child pose because also you see it. You see the children when they go to sleep, they kind of sleep with their tush upward, and so you just slide forward and arms back. If you want to, you can grab your feet, give them loves. Your poor feet have done so much for you, and they take you so far for so many days, so many lifetimes. And just breathe. You can bring your arms over too, and breathe. Feel a nice good stretch extending from your back there, all the way. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are yoga poses that can be used. Of course, there's more, you know. There's lion pose and camel pose. There's other ones that can be used. But of course, I just give you a little snippet of a few poses for you, for your throat chakra. This is Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness. Stay healthy, my friends. Chaucito. Namaste.
Hello, this is Nereida La Sirena with Celestial Soul Wellness, and thank you for watching. We're going to do the meditation part for this new moon in Gemini. We're talking all about the throat chakra, about expressing ourselves, and really, there we go, you guys can see me better, and really being able to express ourselves, though through our heart chakra into our throat chakra. And that is very necessary because when we are speaking from our heart, we're not speaking out of fear, out of defense, or out of anger, which is still out of fear. We are not speaking out of attacking. We are sometimes accepting and being more compassionate and speaking out of mercy, compassion, and love. And it's just one of offering positive energy to the conversation and the situation. So, what we're going to do in this meditation, we're going to go back and well, right now get comfortable. Put on your incense if you'd like. In fact, I'm going to do that too. Hold on. Okay, so I just put on French lavender with myrrh. So excited. And a little bit of tea. If you need your sake, some kind of blanket, because you know our temperatures go down when we meditate. Over here, it's a beautiful Right now it is a beautiful, I'm looking at the forecast thing, um, 85 degrees here in Southern California. So I'm not needing any blanket anytime soon. And so make sure your back is straight. If you're sitting, both feet on the floor. If you're lying down, just make sure that you get as much flat as possible, no arc. Or if you are, I know some people like to do the arc with a yoga block underneath them, underneath their back. If you have your back, make sure you are in good back health, okay, and you're flexible. I've done it sometimes. It really opens up that heart chakra, because you're right there, and you just but make sure when you're on that, and then when you finish the meditation, you're going to need to roll over to your side, like in child position, okay? Because if not, if you just try and go, you can actually hurt your back because you have been in a certain position. You need to roll over and then curl because you have been extending for so long. So you need to do the opposite, all right? And then slowly get up. And like I said, if not, you could be, hurting your back and making sudden movements. Now, if you're flexible, even if you're very flexible, I still suggest that you do that, okay? So, either way, if you get your music on, okay, if you have crystals, you want to put crystals around on your chakras. And what we're going to do, like I mentioned before, is we are going to go drop down to our heart chakra. And I just want to give you a preview because we're going to encounter the great oracles, the great, I'm sorry, not oracles, silly me, orators, okay? And we're going to see the ones that you feel comfortable with. So right now, let's do some Merkaba breathing. Breathe in deeply into your belly region, into those intestines. Make it look like you're pregnant or you just ate a watermelon. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out through your mouth. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. And when you're breathing in and you're holding your 5, see that oxygen just traveling upward in the front of your body and then downward, okay? Just pushing through all those knots on your shoulders, your neck, your shoulders, all the way down your back. And if you're having any aches and pains, allow that oxygen, it's white light, to reach that area. Just push it all the way down, all the way down, all the way down towards your tailbone, okay? And release it. So now let's breathe in. Let it travel upward. And down the back of your head, through the bladder, governing vessel, and the gallbladder meridians, all the way down. And out. And again. And again. Push that oxygen out, spreading through your shoulder blades, through your arms, especially. And the arms, a lot of people don't know, are part of our throat chakra because they're another form of expression. Our fingers and hands, Think of sign language. I know in hula, hula started as a way of communicating, and the movements we do with our hands is a type of sign language. And out. And one last time. And this time, as you're pushing that oxygen down, oxygen all the way, push it all the way down, all the way into the core of the earth. Push all the way down. And let Mother Gaia just take all that. Oh, keep the shoulders back. I know it's curling forward. And then let Mother Gaia, Mother Pele, just raise that beautiful healing light through our feet, all the way upward, 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 expanding. Just feel that source just penetrating all the way through your thighs, your hips, right there, your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus. You're just radiating out through the solar plexus, your own rays like the sun. It's getting bigger and bigger as the light is extending upward through your heart chakra. And there's rays coming out from all those chakras it's touched. And now through your throat chakra, just feel it. You're feeling the esophagus, the throat open up. Some of you may need to yawn, burp, or sing. Opening up that airway. If you need to move your head just a little, open up that airway, go ahead and have that beautiful healing white light go upward to our third eye, pineal gland, and back to the pituitary gland. It's going all the way opening. And our crown chakra. We are just this big, huge ball of light that's going upward, 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 floating upward, upward, and extending outward. We're bigger than the building you're in. You're bigger than the city you're in. Keep breathing. You're bigger than the state or province you are in. And you're bigger than the country, extending oceans and oceans. You're bigger than the earth, and you're floating upward, passing the moon, giving it thanks, going up higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Keep your eyes looking forward, upward, towards your pineal gland and your tongue on the top of your roof. High, higher, higher, passing all the planets, passing the different dimensions and planes. Passing so much jelly substance, the universe before the Akashic records. Just extending, 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 and as we're there, we are now going to drop ourselves down into our heart. So you see it elevate in your mind's eyes. Step into it and drop. Smells nice in that elevator. Smell a lot of flowers and trees and pine. As you stop into your heart chakra, you get out. You walk out. There's that beautiful cotton candy pink, that lime green, some fog and mist refreshing you. You're walking forward. And you hear a voice, a speech with such a beautiful voice, and it's captivating. And it says so much. As you walk forward, you're identifying. Is it a female voice or is it a male voice? It is speaking truths. It is acknowledging certain laws and respects towards humankind and humanity. And as you walk closer through the mist, you're walking through this mist, this voice is just drawing you in. You're walking through it, just being drawn in. I know I'm getting a sense of relief. As you see, the mist is slowly dissipating, slowly clearing. Look around. Are you in an auditorium? Are you in an open area? Columns? Are you in a field? A mountain? You still hear this voice speaking. And you're hearing clapping. You're drawn closer. You're walking closer and it's becoming more clear where you are. And you are seeing so many people all around. You're walking down the middle. And this speaker, this orator, looks straight at you and smiles and tells you, I've been waiting. I've been waiting for you. And he says your name in such, or she says your name in such a way that now you actually like your name. You like hearing it. That it makes you feel so good to hear your name. And they say, come, come. And you're walking towards them. He walks closer towards you, and they extend their hand out towards you. They put their hand on your chest and says, you are complete, whole, and healed. You are safe, protected, and loved. And you feel this refreshing Relieving vibration all in your heart, standing all the way through your shoulders, opening up your lungs, opening up your shoulders, your back, relaxing your arms, your elbows, your wrists, and your fingers. And that vibration is tingling higher, upward towards your throat, all the way relaxing as they continue to hold and touch your heart chakra. If you're relaxing in your jaw, and as you relax your jaw, and they've been smiling at you, you smile. You have a real big, huge smile. And they put the other hand on the side of your neck and say, your truth is valid. Your truth deserves to be heard. Your truth is love. The world needs to hear your truth. And then, hearing that, they take out from their pocket something in their hand. It's a clasp they offer to you. It's a gift. It's a gift that's going to help you lovingly speak your truth, safely speak your truth. Enjoyably speaking your truth, confidently speaking your truth. Reach out your hands, cupped, as they will place it in your hands. Look at it. Look at that gift they give you. It is your new instrument. It is the instrument you've been missing and now have back to confidently, lovingly, securely, and peacefully to speak your truth, acknowledging your true authentic self. Is it a gem, a crystal? Is it an instrument of some sort? A flute, a whistle, drums? Is it a pen and paper? Is it metal and nail? Is it your own hands? Is it your own voice? Honeyed. And as you see, you bring it up closer, bring it up towards your heart chakra. This wonderful orator spirit guide that you have right there Nicodemus, Plato, Martin Luther King. Abraham Lincoln. There's so many great orators out there. Socrates, Aristotle, Jesus Christ. Move this instrument. They slowly clasp your hands around it and move it towards your throat, your heart chakra. They move it all the way up to your throat chakra and tell you to open up your hands and let it melt into you. This beautiful missing instrument of yours. You might need to take a deep breath to allow your body to adjust and accept and receive this beautiful new instrument. And this instrument is just healing all the scars within your throat, healing all, pushing out all the obstacles of not being able to speak and breathe, clearing out all the trapped air from every time you couldn't speak your truth. And now your wonderful orator spirit guide turns you around and introduces you to this wonderful crowd that is just so in anticipation, anticipating, waiting eagerly, excitingly to hear who you are. And your spirit guide announces, wonderful, beautiful souls of the universe, I introduce to you our beautiful angel. And they say your name. And then they say, they have something very touching, wonderful, and important to share with us. And they look at you and they say, with all confidence and love, knowing that you are healed, share what you would like. You're so overwhelmed you don't know what to say. Yet this wonderful instrument inside of you is just vibrating. And it's building up, bubbling up. There's something you gotta say. You just gotta yell it. And you start shimmering around. And it's coming out. And you say, I, in your wonderful, beautiful name, I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. I am a gift from the universe. from God, our divine creator of all that is, from Mother Gaia, from Source, the universe. I am, and I am here for you. The crowd just gets up and starts clapping and dancing at this wonderful, beautiful news that you have just shared with them. And they're yelling finally, yes, we knew it. Yes, now you know it. They knew all the time, but you have finally known and learned and accepted and received. The orator gives you this wonderful hug, and you are just surrounded by all these beautiful, beautiful souls hugging you, embracing you, feeling that safety, protected, and loved, and confidence. Just melt into that jubilee of love. Say again, I am. I am. I am. I am. Take a nice deep breath. And it is now time to go. Thank everyone in the group. Namaste for their participation, for their patience, and their support. You are not alone. Your light team is right with you. And you are now walking towards the mist again. You go into the elevator. Your light team is all congratulating you. The elevator door closes and it goes upward, but it makes a stop. And it opens up. You see this bluish smoke. They said, this is where we have to be. You walk out. You just engulf yourself in this wonderful, wonderful blue fog. And your light team is there. And they tell you, we are here to help you, to protect, to cherish, and love your new instrument. You see your instrument there. Anytime you forget, you know you can speak your truth with the help of your new instrument, your new gift. And you smile and you give it loving light. And now it's time to go back to the elevator. Your light team is with you. You go forward, and the doors close, and you're going upward, 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 back into your head. And as the doors open, you tell them thank you for being with you. Give them hugs, handshakes, and high fives, and bowings. I said, we're going to stay in the elevator for a while. You walk out, waving. This big, huge smile on your face. You're walking forward towards your eyes. And when you're ready, open your eyes and see this world, the help of your light team, your orator spirit guide, and your new instrument, coming from love, coming from confidence, coming from I. A deep breath in and release and open. Wow. 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 That was an amazing. I even had tears coming out. Oh my gosh. Um, Please share in the comments who was your orator spirit guide. I'm very excited and curious just to hear, because I know I only mentioned a few, but there are so many wonderful ones throughout all of history, throughout the whole world. There's no possible time for me to go through them all, but it would have been nice. And your instruments also. So thank you so much for sharing this time. And may you go out there, speak your truth wonderfully, lovingly, peacefully, honey tongue, and confidently. And thank you so much for allowing me the privilege of being part of this journey with you. This is Nereida La Sirena with Celestial Soul Wellness. Namaste and Jasita.